But
Devontae, Jalen Hurts, 3 1s.
I would say I don't think they would want Devontae. Though. You're right. I don't think they would want him. I'm hoping they wouldn't want him, but I would go.
Which is it?
Yeah, right. See, that's
Welcome back to the middle. Baird Brooks and Filio. Here are the three teams that are reaching out to the Eagles for Fletcher Cox: Steelers, Chargers, Panthers. Those are the three teams that are reported that have interest in Fletcher.
right.
Who do you, who do you at the end of the day, who do you look at here if you're the Eagles? Do you move them?
It depends on after. We got to worry about Deshaun. Worry about the Deshaun situation first, because he might have to come in and factor in on that plan to get Deshaun's services here. But you know,
you have to address the Deshaun situation. You're right.
But I wouldn't care where he goes. You know what I mean? I'm at this point. You know, he's still a good player, man. No matter what people think, he is still a very, very good player. I believe in his skill set still. New change of scenery, he'll probably be a better player than he was before. I wouldn't trade him into the division, but I wouldn't be mad if they did. It really doesn't matter to me right now because Fletcher's just going to be Fletch. Fletcher's going to do what he wants to do. If he wants to turn it up, Fletch could be the most dominant player in the NFL if he wanted to. He hasn't wanted to the past couple of years, and it showed.
Yeah, I would say this to you, Barrett. I think a second year in the system, knowing what's being asked to him now.
Mm-hmm.
John Lynch told me this, a long time ago when he was a broadcaster before he took the 49er GM job. He said, usually what happens when a new system guy comes in and he changes your system, you're going to get the best out of that player the second year because he'll know more of what's expected of him in a particular defense. You'll know
Absolutely.
more about techniques. You'll know more about terminology. This was all new after, most of those guys, like you said, I mean, most of those Eagle guys have been in one system. They were in the short system for all those years, more in a box.
Yep.
Kind of Gannon was like loose, with that soft coverage and, the guys playing more kind of. I thought the DTs were more asked to do two gap stuff.
Well, it is. Yep. It's almost like two gaps. It's more so gap control.
Yeah, gap
which is
control
like
stuff.
which is like two gaps.
Yeah.
You're not responsible for both gaps on either side. You're
Right.
responsible for one gap, but you can't go through and explode through that gap because you mess up the defense and how it's supposed to be run.
Yeah, the linebackers. This is why I thought the Eagle defense struggled because the linemen didn't know what they were being asked to do. They were late on reads because they were one gap getting a 3 or 1 or 0 or 5 or 6 or 9 or whatever. And those linebackers aren't talented enough to scrape the lanes.
Yep.
And so that's where I thought they got in trouble. And that's why I thought anybody who ran at them, they ran at them with success because there were these lanes.
Exactly.
And these guys weren't used to being in those two gap situations. And like you said, it was like almost like zone blocking, but on the defensive side.
Right.
You know what I mean? I mean, they were like in there. So
and then the linebackers were filling. You got to fill when you're alive. Fill your gap. If you don't fill your gap, that's where the lanes come from because nobody's in that gap. And when you allow people to get movement on one guy in one gap, it creates a natural lane. And that's why and if the linebacker doesn't come and fill to get that other offensive lineman off the 3 technique, nobody can make a play then because the lanes become too big, number one. And number two, you're allowing them to double team one of the guys that's supposed to fill and be that guy to keep them off you. So they just need you're right. He's going to come in. That's why you've never heard me just down, talk Fletcher Cox as far as him being long in the tooth. And no, he just hasn't given what I've seen him give in that defense. I can't see him going out there and just playing lax like he played last year. I believe he didn't know the system well enough to go out there and execute it because he didn't have people around him and knew it. So maybe you're right. Maybe he goes in this year and he changes up. But as far as talent, what this guy can do, I can almost guarantee you, man, he is not what you saw last year. He is not that type of player. He's a lot better than what you saw last year.
I was disappointed in his play last year.
Right.
I was because it's not that I thought he was a bad player, but like you said, I had him here.
Right.
And I was like, wow, man. I mean, really, to me, he was almost as good as what Sue was in Tampa.
Yes.
And I think Sue's on his back nine.
Right.
Right. The best of Dominican Sue was in Detroit.
Oh.
And maybe a year with the Rams. But his best years were in Detroit. He had like 10 sacks up there one year. Went to the Pro Bowl as a defensive tackle, and that's where he started making his name, is when he had all those big sack numbers in Detroit. So, yeah, I'm expecting
faces and everything else.
I'm expecting him to have a better year this year. Okay. By the way, one thing before we get into the NFL's place in this whole thing too, because they have to have a place at the chair here in this deal with Watson here. Okay, so Dennis Allen is the new head coach of the Saints. He's a defensive-minded guy. Matt Rule, I don't know. I'll tell you this. Matt Rule in Carolina hasn't really impressed me. Okay? He just, Sam Darnold looked good the first 4 games. Then he shit the bed. That whole thing with Cam. Then they fired Brady, Joe Brady, the OC. I don't know. I mean, I'm like, okay. And then I turn around and I'm looking at those 2 coaches and I'm going, are those 2 coaches better than Nick Sirianni? Dennis Allen, he's going to be more centric on defense.
Yep.
Then you go with Sirianni, who worked with Frank Wright, who worked with Phillip Rivers, who's been around big-time quarterbacks. I'm just thinking, look what he did with Jalen. And you know what you can always pimp? Look what I did with Jalen.
Right.
I mean, this guy was a second-round quarterback, and he's already a Pro Bowl alternate. You could shine that thing up, make that penny look shiny. You know what I'm saying? And to go, look what I did here.
Lipstick on a pig, man.
Right. Go like this. Look what I did here, right? I mean, so, all right. What's the NFL going to do, and what would make an NFL team pause at this deal? Because the NFL, what do you think they're going to rule on? Troy Vincent, head of discipline for the NFL, along with Roger Goodell here. What do you think the NFL, who, by the way, didn't do anything all last year?
I think that's a travesty right there.
Usually the NFL is proactive.
Especially in cases like this.
Before even a legal issue is out there, they'll suspend a player for conduct detrimental. Before they even get any information in the room, they'll do this.
Yep. I mean,
tell me what you think they're going to do here.
Ever since they were stung by Ray Rice, they've been very, very proactive in how they police things like this.
Remember this? They gave him like 2 games, and people go, I forget. I think it was Josh Gordon goes, man. I go, hey, you can't smoke Mary Jane. Get 4-game suspension, but you could beat the hell out of her.
Right.
We were like, all of a sudden, man, that thing went to 8 games and then indefinite.
right.
That thing changed overnight.
It put things in perspective. You know what I'm saying? And bro, that's tough, man, because Lane Johnson for taking taking the juice got 10 games. 10 games. So I'm thinking at least 10. At the very least 10 games.
So he's going to miss the entire year last year. And he's going to miss another 10 ball games. He's going to miss 26 games.
Just the seriousness whenever you're dealing with not spouse but women and
sexual misconduct.
Yes. It's usually, and it should be very, very harsh, but
I'm going to play devil's advocate. I'm innocent.
Right. And there lies the problem, because or you go with time served, or do you have to implement something?
I
And
think you go time served and give him. Watch this. I think you want to play it right. Time served, 6-game suspension. Then it goes down like Ben to 4.
yeah, something like that.
He misses the first 4 games of the upcoming 22 season.
Like Tom Brady did.
Yeah. And they'll go like this. Time served. They'll come out 6 games. They'll petition, put it down to 4 games, or maybe 8 to 4, something like that. Isn't 4? Like, hey, Deshaun Watson, and I got Jalen's probably going to be part of the deal. I got Minshew. That's why you're not trading Minshew. Colts offered a 5. I'm not getting rid of Gardner. That guy can carry the mail for me for 4 games.
He can too.
Why would I get rid of a guy? We just got through talking about substitute teachers. This guy will be sitting right next to Foles if he goes 3-1 out of the gate.
I love the substitute teacher.
Hey,
man.
the 2 substitute teachers will go, I won a Super Bowl. Hey, I carried us until Deshaun came in. 2 biggest dudes in Philly history, sitting at a bar and sitting there at Geno's having dinner going, I won the Super Bowl. I carried us to Deshaun. Why would I get rid? I'm not getting rid. You know what? Let me say this. Gardner Minshew may be the most important person on the roster right now.
Right now, yes, absolutely. Because he's going to be a bridge factor, bridge builder for if Deshaun does come in. And at this point, you look at who he is. He's going to take that. He's going to monopolize the whole time that he's in there to springboard him into next year and being a part of the conversation before the trade deadline. You know what I'm saying? He'll use that as trade deadline bait for a team that's looking for a quarterback, man. And that's how he'll approach it. He'll approach it like, all right, you guys want me to be the bridge builder? Okay, I'll go ahead, take this for 4 games, ride this ship out, show you that I'm a starter, and use this to go forward with trade deadline looming, 2 or 3 weeks later? He'll be the hottest thing out there. The hottest bait out there.
Tell me who I am. Hey, Howie, I'm going to put this production together. I'm going to have a movie made of this. This is the best thing that I've ever seen in Philadelphia history. This is exactly the guy, the comeback story. I'm going to call him the comeback kid. This is perfect. This is what I've dreamed about. You know, those directors do that. I don't know what they're doing actually. I don't know what the fuck it is. They do it. Well, anything like that, right? So sorry, Aunt Patty. Anyway, so go like this. You know the owner's got to be drooling over this thing.
Bro, it's the perfect scenario, man. First of all, Lurie takes a shot at a guy trying to, rebuild his character back in the NFL. That's one. You got, Gardner Minshew coming in and being a guy that, all right, I'm a starter now, giving me the opportunity. Now trade me to a team.
Dad.
Yep. He'll go nuts for 4 games or how many games it is.
I got a nickname for him.
What's that?
Maverick.
Because of Top Gun jackets.
Yep. He had that the pilot's glasses on. Yeah, had the jacket on, chest bumping dad, and he killed the Jets. Woo!
Right.
Dude.
Bro, it's the perfect production, man. It's the perfect thing for him, bro. Perfect. So at the end of the day, this scenario plays out to be the best thing for the Eagles to get Gardner Minshew. It plays out the best. I mean, they will be in a great position to do whatever they need to do whatever they want to do. There's no way that they can lose, man, if they get this kid. They've got to get Watson now. Everything's been laid out for him.
Wait. I got an off-ramp here just in case. By the way, that's a good point. Someone asked me that question on the afternoon show on Friday. What if we don't get Watson? I went, you know what? At least your owner and at least your GM were out there trying to make something happen. to show that they're looking to win a championship. And this will be on Watson, not on the Eagles.
Yep.
It'll be on Watson. Now, it'll be on the Eagles if they go cheap.
Well, I don't think they'll go cheap.
And I don't either.
Howie's not known for going cheap either. He's not known for that.
I think he's going to push. Hey, man, when I'm spending someone else's money. Hey, Barrett's picking up dinner. Like, can I have your credit card, Barrett? Hey, I'll have that filet mignon, and I'll have that surf and turf.
Right.
You know? Oh, give me the Louis shots, too. Bring it on.
The 8-ounce lobster tail. Yeah, the 8-ounce lobster tail. Yeah, I want all that.
Hey, Big Sills, you better go to Red Lobster. I don't pick that up. We're going to Red Lobster, dog, and we're going to eat at the salad bar.
But this is exactly what Howie needs to do, because Howie at this point is in a lame duck contract. He's got one more year left on his deal. He could tie himself to Deshaun Watson, and that's a marriage made in heaven, because he's tied with him from this point on. I mean, it's great because he tried to facilitate the best deal he could make with 3 first-rounders, a first-rounder next year. I mean, whatever it takes to get this kid here.
What would you – hey, what would – here's what I would give up for him. I saw the Eagle picks. I saw all of them. Here's what I'm giving up for Deshaun Watson. Do you think we have to give players up?
Yes.
You think they'd want Devontae?
No. You think they would? And
Devontae, Jalen Hurts, 3 ones.
I would say I don't think they would want Devontae, though. You're right. I don't think they would want him. I'm hoping they wouldn't want him. But I would go.
Which is it?
Yeah, right. See, that's because you.
Which is it?
I don't think you could get him here.
Dude.
Yeah, I don't think you could get him here if Devontae's not here. That's the only reason why I say I'm hesitant.
3 ones. Jalen and Mulata.
They would have to pull the trigger on that. I think they would.
Getting rid of Jordan Mulata, dude, is big.
That's huge. But see, the reason why I say yes, they'll pull the trigger with that is because they have Dillard there. Now, I was on Dillard for being soft as drugstore cotton. I know he's soft, but he has changed these past couple years and turned into a pretty good left tackle, man. We're talking about a guy that could be a left tackle for a long time now. I gave him everything I could, and talk bad about him his first year and a half here because he was soft. He's changed now. He's become a man now. You know what I'm saying? He's went through puberty. He is now officially a man now. He could anchor that left side for a long time. And in fact, I think he's one of the biggest trade baits this next year.
You know what's funny? People are thinking that the Texans are not going to want a star in return, that they're going to want a stiff on your team. Folks, this has got to be good for both sides to make this happen. What we're trying to do, Barrett and I, we're trying to get him here. You know how you get him here? You sell gold, not silver.
Right.
Okay? We're trying to go like this. What would make the Texans go like this?
Look! I love it, Lawrence. I get you, man. So Mulata, no. What's wrong with you?
Wait a minute. Mulata to get Watson in the building. Are you fucking nuts? Bear, tell me. I'm talking more like a G. That's how they're going to go like this. You want Deshaun Watson? You think it's going to be just 3 ones?
Right.
It's going to cost you players too.
Well, look what Wilson got.
No shit. That's exactly right. 2 ones, 2 twos, and 3 players.
Right. Look what they got.
But Philly, we're not going to do that.
Right. It's going to take that. I'm talking about they probably get Jalen, Fletch, and still another player.
But and if they get Fletch, Eagles have to eat some of that 18 too.
Right. I understand you. We get it. Mulata is that dude. I love Mulata. I told you. But I mean that's the perfect way to say it. You can't we just can't send stiffs out there. They're going to want some quality players,
Starters.
qualities. Yes, starters, players that can change a franchise. And yes, Mailata is a franchise-changing player.
What would you
That's
rather
exactly
have?
why.
A franchise-changing offensive tackle or a franchise division-changing, conference-changing quarterback?
Well, I mean, there's no question.
Look at what the Bucs did with. Do you know the Buccaneers are co-favorites to win the NFC now? All of a sudden, again, with the Packers because
exactly.
Brady is back in the building. An offensive tackle's not going to make that leap for your team to win. You guys have to understand something. When you want to go buy something you want, have you ever done this? Man, I got this thing on the cheap, man. It was really awesome, man. How long did it last? About 2 minutes. When you pay for quality, you've got to put quality in the conversation. Man, here, I got another one. Because I think it's going to cost 3 ones.
Yep.
Okay. 3 ones. Mailata and Smith.
That's tough, man.
Is that too much? Is that too much for a franchise quarter? Hey, Barrett.
It's not.
One of the top 5 guys in the NFL, according to Pro Football Focus.
Right. It's not. I mean, you look at, he's a top 5 quarterback. And quarterbacks are what, make the world go round in football. You see what happened to 2 Quest quarterbacks last year. One of them won a Super Bowl. With a quarterback like that, he gives you everything, every dimension. His arm talent, escapability. He's been seasoned enough in the NFL that he's seen everything. He's a baller, man. You take that, and you might give away a franchise left tackle. You got Jordan Mailata. Of course, they're going to want a guy that, can be explosive. They're still crying about them letting Hopkins go. So you get Devontae, put him in the deal. I can see that happening, and it's still not be enough for a trade.
Correct.
Not be enough.
Watch this. Mailata, Smith, and 3 ones could still not be enough.
Yeah, that could not be enough. So
I talked to Coach Johnson last night, and he goes, the Texans are going to get a haul if everyone's on the same page. Now, if Deshaun wants to go to a particular place, it may be a lesser deal to get him in the building. However, why would the Texans do that? You're trying to maximize. Who do you think it's on more?
Hold on, man. The stream is killing me, dog. Stop
because
trying to piss
why
us
they
off
don't
still.
understand, because the great things. Hey, wait a minute. The great things about fans is that they fall in love with these Eagle players, and I'm okay with that. Wait, Barrett, we do. That's great.
We do, man.
Wait a minute, and I get it, and you know what? You should act like that. But unfortunately, that's not how it works in them trade rooms.
Right. They of course, this deal has probably been set up since the combine. Since the
Think
combine.
about what we heard with the Russell Wilson deal.
Yep.
Remember last week or 2 weeks ago, Pete Carroll goes, "We have no interest in trading at all ever." Yep. Russell Wilson. Then we find out they had been working on it for a month.
Yep. And Mailata, we feel as though Mailata's ours because we taught him how to be a football player. You know what I'm saying? We sat down and kicked him off that damn he used to play this
rugby.
He used to play this little guitar.
Ukulele?
He played a ukulele and was singing in the locker room. I was like, man, cut that out, bro. Don't pick up that thing again. You need to get tough, bro. And he sat it down and he's become a player, man. He went from being a guy that didn't even know how to leverage or position himself to be an offensive tackle to being one of the most dominant tackles in the league. We get it. We sat through all of that and tempered our expectations, and now we have a guy that's going to be a perennial Pro Bowler for probably the next 10 years. So I get it. I get it when I get what the fans are saying because I'm a fan. But
I don't care. Watch this, Barrett. I don't care what they're saying. It's Deshaun Watson. I don't care. I love them. I don't care. This is a franchise quarterback. Don't quantify, Barrett. Why? We all know why he's good, but you know in your heart, hey, dude, the guy's a great player. He'll be a 10-year Pro Bowler. No shit. But that's a 10-year Pro Bowl quarterback.
Yes.
And in the division and in the conference, he'll own it.
Well, that's a pretty good trade right here also. 3 firsts, Jordan Mailata, Miles Sanders, and a 23 second. That's
I'll take
not enough.
that.
That's
I'll
not
take
enough.
that.
Though. I'll take it, but that's not enough though.
No.
That's not enough.
I got something else too I want to throw at you here, man. Get this. Let's put a contingency. Hey, wait a minute. You think GMs have contingency plans in case something goes sideways?
I really don't. I don't think so. I think.
Oh, you think they're all in on this?
Yes, I think they're all in on this one. This situation right here.
Here's why I might disagree with you a little bit, because Washington wanted Deshaun Watson when they found out he wasn't going there. Mm-hmm. Carson Wentz was their second plan. I got a guy, Barrett. I want to tell you about him. All right, let's take it. Wait a minute. All 53 players, all 2,000, the Brooklyn Franklin Bridge and the bell itself. Hey, and the bell. Dude, when you're throwing the bell in, you know we're throwing everything in. Throw the Nick Foles statue in. Mute.
All 10 picks. I love that right there. You guys
are all in.
Yeah.
Throw them all in. All right, I got another plan here, too, on the other side. Hey, Barrett Brooks, Dan Sileo, on a crazy NFL Monday. The NFL has mastered the offseason, man. Back in